April absolutely flew by and we got through so many video games this month, so buckle up because this is going to be a longer one. Here is all the games I played in April. We played a lot of indie horror games this month, and starting off that trend was Fleshmade Fear. This game's been on my radar for a hot minute, and I got given a key to it, so I finally got to play it. It is a retro survival horror game, very heavily inspired by the original Resident Evils, which definitely shows with this one, and in fact, I am ranking it very similarly to the first Resident Evil at a 7 out of 10. This one I really enjoyed. My main critique about it is mostly that you don't find out about a lot of the characters. There's not really much character development going on, and I would like to have seen the world fleshed out a little bit more, but the gameplay was absolutely incredible. It was such a love letter to old survival horror games. If you like that style of gameplay, you will definitely enjoy this one. The puzzles are great, the movement felt great, I think the difficulty was well balanced. Some really creepy, gross visuals as well. The monster designs are fantastic. Honestly, I have very high praise for this one, especially if you like the genre. I think this is a must play. And next, another game that I'd been looking forward to for a while that I got a key for was Project Songbird, and I think people are sleeping on this one. This one is a 7 out of 10 for me as well. They describe this game as Silent Hill meets Alan Wake, and I think that is the absolutely perfect way to describe this game. It's a very linear, almost walking style game, but you have two main gameplay segments, out in the forest and then in the dream world. The dream world is where most of the story and the gameplay and the puzzles are going to be happening. I really enjoyed the puzzles in this one. I thought they were super good. My main complaint is with the combat. The stealth and the enemies can be quite challenging at times, but they look really scary, so that's good. The story for this one's also great. It has that fantastic Silent Hill vibe where you don't really know what's going on at any point in time, and you're constantly sitting there being like, wait, what the fuck is going on? And it had some really cool breaking the fourth wall moments as well that I really, really enjoyed. I definitely think more people should check this one out because it does an absolutely amazing job at atmospheric psychological horror. Sticking with the trend of indie horror, I played another game called Somnifuge. This one's a little bit of a wild card. It is also a retro-inspired horror game. I don't know if I'd call it survival horror. It's more so of a puzzle walking simulator. But this one has that great gameplay loop of everything happening in the same mansion as like a hub area, and the more you solve puzzles and find keys to things, you open up all the new areas and they all start to link into each other. Story feels very heavily Soma inspired. They're playing with some sort of digital human consciousness, which is always fun. But the monsters in this are so creepy, and I actually really enjoyed the puzzles. The game as a whole is a 6 out of 10 for me. I think the story could have been fleshed out a little bit more. There's like almost no dialogue in the game. You don't meet any other characters essentially except for yourself. And the story could be considered a little bit open-ended at the end, kind of up for interpretation, which I don't entirely mind. There were a couple puzzles here and there that I did have to look up help and solutions for, but for the most part, I really liked them. They felt like a good level of difficult, but you felt really good when you worked them out. It's also quite short. We finished it in about 3 hours, which is a pretty decent length for it. Probably the one thing that I would give criticism on is it really needs a map. Even though most of the game takes place in the one main house, it's very windy, and I got very lost. But other than that, I would also very much recommend this one. Our last indie horror game for the month was Nightmare House. This is the only image I can find online, but it's not the reimagined version. This was also a fun little 2 to 3 hour game at a 6 out of 10. Very, very heavily inspired by Fear, I believe. This one gave super big Fear vibes, not only with the gameplay, but the story as well. It's very close to like the first Fear game. Again, a pretty linear walking game, first-person shooter style vibes. But I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was a first-person shooter with a bunch of jump scares. This game is very jump scare heavy, and almost all of them actually scared me, which I enjoy when games can make me jump, because it does not happen very much. But if you liked fear at all, you would very much like this one. Next, we finished the last few House of the Dead games in the series. We played the House of the Dead 2 remake. If you'll remember back when we played the original trilogy, out of the 3, 2 was the only one I wasn't able to finish because we were playing it on the Wii and the controls were really difficult and there was no free play mode, so I just kept running out of credits. Whilst this one does fix the credits issue, I think out of the trilogy it is still my least favourite, so I'm going to rank it the same as the original at a 5 out of 10. It is definitely still the hardest out of the trilogy, even with the extra credits on it. Still fun, it's still a rail shooter, it's still an arcade shooter, it's still a great time. I just think out of the 3, it probably is the weakest. The last 1 to 2 chapters are just the same boss fights you've already done, just recycled essentially as well. But the remake version of it definitely did feel nicer to play. Next was House of the Dead 4, which I think is tied for number 3 as my favourite House of the Dead game, so this is a 6 out of 10. This is definitely the shortest out of them though. We finished the entire thing in probably a little less than an hour. It was very, very quick. The story, take it or leave it, that's not why anyone plays these games, but I enjoyed it mostly because of the weapon you got, which was an SMG. And I thought the third game, having the shotgun, was incredibly fun. This is so much better. The clip is so much bigger. You can just literally hold the shoot button and just destroy everything in front of you. It's fantastic. And then last but not least in the series is Overkill. This one I think is definitely my least favorite out of the 5 House of the Dead games. However, I'm also going to rank it a 5 out of 10 because I do like some of the things that it does. Story-wise, it seems to be completely unrelated to the rest of the games. It is something completely new, and they're going for 80s, 90s action mystery sort of TV show vibes, which is kind of fun. It's definitely very early 2000s humor. Some of the stuff in this game, if it released today, would get it absolutely cancelled. Some of the humor is a little bit cringe, but in a, I guess that was kind of funny sort of way. But I like that you can have multiple weapons during a level and swap between them. I really enjoyed that. I like the gun and upgrade shop. That was very nice. I also like that you can pan around the screen a little bit. It's not completely fixed on a track, which I enjoyed. And there's a lot more item pickups throughout the levels as well. And the boss fights felt a lot more in depth overall. This one is also a lot longer than all the other games. This is the extended cut, so it was 9 whole chapters. But yeah, it just didn't stick with me as much as the other ones. It was fine, but product of its age. And the last game we played in April was the original Bayonetta. I started my Bayonetta journey last year with the third game, and I enjoyed it so much I went back and got the first and the second ones. It was fun going back to the first one and seeing where everything began. I actually know who the characters are now. And I didn't realize there was actually lore to the games. I know there's a story obviously, but it really goes into depth here. This one is a 7 out of 10, so a little below the third one. I did still enjoy it, but the gameplay is not as much just hack and slash. There's a lot more exploration that you can do, and there are a lot of platforming sections that really sucked because the camera on this one is not very good at all. I also found it a bit hard to follow along with the story. I ended up needing to get a recap from some people at the end of the game to summarize what happened, but overall, still very much a fun time. And there we go. That is everything that we played in April. I told you it was a big month, and May is going to be just as good, so stick around if you would like to see what we play then.